Welcome back to the program. So, first and foremost, I want to thank you all so much for the birthday wishes. Yes, it was a lot of fun. We went to a Brazilian steakhouse, which basically, if you've ever been to one, they basically come around to the table on these little plates and they cut meat. And they're like, "Sir, would you like to try the Parmesan crusted sirloin?" And you have these little tongs and they cut it and you grab it and you put the tongs and you take it and put it on your plate. It's delicious. It's good. It's filling. You ate a lot of it, had cake and all that. And then I was just kind of hanging out with friends and stuff like that till about maybe midnight, something like that. And it was fun. It was good, you know. Not everybody I wanted there was there, but you know, hey, c'est la vie, right? But that's okay. It was still a lot of fun. So again, thank you all. Look, I could break down and talk about all the different things and all the different crazy spending and drag shows in Ecuador and whatever, all kinds of crazy things. But you can learn that anywhere else. Some of the things that really stand out, though, with this Usaid scandal is this was a globalist slush fund. This was a money laundering operation. And more importantly, this was a taxpayer-funded money laundering operation. The people at Usaid have committed so many crimes, it's unbelievable. I mean, truly, they were behind the impeachment of President Trump. You had the CIA involved in Usaid. You had Politico, the Washington Post. You had the New York Slimes. You had many others, all embedded with Usaid. And more importantly, $26 million was paid to Politico from the Biden regime for positive media. So what does this mean? It means that the entire system is rotten to the neck up, basically, right? From the head down, whatever they say. And more importantly, these people need to be prosecuted. Now, Pam Bondi, thankfully today, was confirmed and the vote came through and she is now the Attorney General. And she's already done a couple things. Number one, she said that she is going to defund all sanctuary cities, 100%, all of them, every single one of them. And if any official in those sanctuary cities tries to harbor illegal aliens or help them out in any way, they will be prosecuted. Okay? So she came in and came out hot. The other thing she said is that she is going to do multiple investigations, not just into Usaid and some of the others, but all the different things, including every single investigation against President Trump for the last 4 years. Okay? All of them. And remember, the majority of those people, just about all of them, did not get pardoned. So that means you can throw Egeron in jail. You can throw Tish James in jail. You can throw Alvin Bragg in jail. You can throw Fannie Willis in jail. You can throw Jackoff Smith in jail. You can throw Judge Chutkin in jail. You could throw Matthew Colangelo and Matthew Graves and so many other people that were involved in prosecuting these January 6ers. So I think they're just getting started, okay? And there's been so many other events. I mean, this is a shock and awe campaign. Like I said, they have over inundated the left with so much activity that the left cannot even think about what next to even try to fight against. And if you think about it, that's something that we lived through for the last 4 years. It wasn't at this, thank God, level and speed and veracity, but it was still pretty bad. I mean, they came after us from the censorship standpoint. They came after us from the mandates, from the lockdowns, from the pushing of the COVID, from going after the January 6ers to going after so many other people that were close to President Trump, dragging them all in, indicting all these different people. and just seeing the disaster that we've had to live through. I mean, it's like go to bed at night for the last 4 years, and you wake up in the morning, and it's like you don't even want to look at the news. It was like, oh my God, what are they doing now? What kind of rights are they trying to take from me now? Now, I know you do, and I know I do. I sleep like a baby, okay? Because when I go to bed at night now and I wake up in the morning, I can't wait to see the news. Wow, check out what he's done now. Wow, he just banned completely men from women's sports. Just boom, just like that. You know, it's like every day we're waking up and it's Christmas. Every day is Christmas, even for the Jews. That's right. Even for the Jews, it is Christmas and Hanukkah every single day. And we've got to make sure that that continues. Tom Homan has come out and said that in the next 10 days, he is going to offer a deal to the illegal aliens in this country. And he's going to tell them point blank, if you self-deport and we don't have to find you, corral you, round you up, and deport you ourselves, then you will be allowed to come in the future as a legal citizen. If you don't, and we have to come and get you, then you won't be able to be a legal citizen, at least I think for 15 or 20 years, is what Tom Homan said today. And yesterday I reported that 20,000 government officials were going to take the early retirement. That number's been doubled. 40,000. Okay? 40,000. Now, I will admit, in preserving liberty, okay, when I talked about Chapter 4, dismantling Washington, D.C., I concentrated on 8,000 SES, okay? 8,000 Senior Executive Services workers. You remember in the book. And I said, all we got to do is change it to Schedule F and fire them all. He's at 40,000, folks. Do you have any idea how monumental and historic what is happening right now in Washington is? It's unbelievable. And their heads are spinning. The left, they don't know what to do. They don't know what just hit them. They're so dizzy from the amount of activity from an almost 80-year-old man just killing it every day. Wakes up every day, if he even sleeps, wakes up every day and is like, what else can we do today? Oh my God, how many more days left in my presidency do I have? How many more days in February? What else can we get done before March 1st? I mean, this is the thought process of this genius, this absolute genius of a man. And business acumen, I mean, he's just far and above anyone else, even close. But the Politico story is really, really frightening. And I know I'm jumping around all over the place on purpose, and that's okay because I am kind of winging it. But one of the things that I did want to go over, was it this one here? Let me see where it is. Here it is, right here. So check this out. So the Biden administration, which is illegal, by the way, was paying Politico $26 million for good coverage, okay? And it gets worse. They had something called Politico Plus, I think it was called, and it was like some type of like subscription thing that was like a higher level. They were charging $75,000 for a subscription to that garbage. And now, guess what? Politico, because they shut down, because Doge shut down basically Usaid right now, right? They can't make payroll. They are probably going to go out of business now. And not just them, but they need to be prosecuted. And the Biden regime needs to be prosecuted, and every single person at Usaid needs to be prosecuted. And there's a good chance a lot of them will. Why? Well, because Elon Musk has outsmarted them. As I said before, he hired these young kids that know coding, that know computer automated design, that know scripts, that know, forensics. They know everything. These are the kids that were born and bred on Xbox and PlayStation. Okay? They've had a controller in their hand since they could walk and talk. So believe me, they know computers. And he hired these young kids that probably could have made six figures, working for a big tech company. And instead, they're working for Doge. And the best part is that when Elon Musk and his people lock these people out of the computer systems and passwords and key codes and all that, all the crimes are in the computers. And these kids, that's right, these kids are finding them. And Elon Musk is probably going to go to Pam Bondi and go, here's a whole list of money laundering operations. They were behind the impeachment of the president. They were being paid by the media. They did, drag shows and lesbian this and, trans that. No, he's got it all. And this is just the first one. This is just the first one. In the next, 10 days or less, they're going into the Department of Education next. And eventually, at some point, they're going to do the IRS. Although I'm hearing that won't be until April or April 15th or after April 15th, because they need the IRS agents right now in order to, take care of everyone's taxes. But that's going to be done. And if it's not April, it might be May or June. But so what? That's going to be done. They are going to systematically go through every single government agency. This has never been done before, folks. Never. Never. They might even audit the Federal Reserve, which has been like the linchpin of every single conservative or libertarian that has ever breathed, okay? Since the Federal Reserve was taken over by basically, the federal government in 1913, okay? When they left the gold standard. So this is going to be amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. And it's like, I can't even believe, what are we, 2 weeks, 3 weeks in? And we've had this much action? My God. Could you just imagine how much more is coming? And what they're going to do to every one of these agencies? It's unbelievable. It is truly unbelievable. And it's just starting, folks. It's just starting. Once RFK Jr. gets into HHS, you're going to see a whole nother huge amount of crimes and, money laundering. Look, the entire government is rotten. It is rotten, and it's been rotten for years. And any other Republican would never, in a million years, do what President Trump is doing. They would come in, they would say, Washington as usual, I'll pretend to be a conservative, I'll pretend to, cut taxes and spending and, and protect your Second Amendment, yada, 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 and I'll be an inconsequential as a fart in the wind president. And the Democrats, well, they'll do the same thing. Let's make sure we have all the money, all the cash, take all the taxpayer money, take all the cash, hoard it for ourselves. We don't care about our constituents. We don't care about the voters. We don't care about the people of this country. We're just going to continue to give it to the lobbyists. We're just going to continue to have sex parties in the basement and all these crazy things. And we're going to do drugs and we're going to do everything else. And that'll be the end of that. And we'll be inconsequential. And somebody else will come in and do the same thing. Well, I'm telling you right now, President Trump is going to be on par, if not surpass, you heard that correctly, George Washington by the time he is done with his presidency. Because he is doing things that nobody's ever done before. Nobody has ever rocked the boat quite like President Trump. And he's the only man that can do it. He's the only one with balls big enough to do it. And quite frankly, the only one smart enough to put the people in place to do it. So, amazing, amazing stuff. Where are we at time-wise? 14 minutes? Okay. Why are the left going crazy? It's very simple. They never thought that this would happen. Even though President Trump and Elon Musk all said the same thing. If you elect me president of the United States again, I will go through every single agency and I will look for fraud. I will look for waste. I will cut government spending. I will cut programs, maybe even agencies, and I'll make the government work efficiently once again in answer to you, the taxpayers. That's what he said. This isn't like a shock to the majority of people out there, right? And what did Elon Musk say? I'm going to do Doge. We're going to do Doge. We're going to go in there. We're going to blah, blah, blah. And the left, for whatever reason, they didn't think that he was going to do it. You know why? Because the system typically doesn't allow it. Most presidents in the past were inconsequential, okay? They didn't have the power. It was basically garbage in, garbage out. Garbage in, garbage out. Who ran Washington? The entrenched administrative state. Well, guess what? The entrenched administrative state is on its way out. And now, the cabinet, the president, his appointees, those people, they're now going to run the government. And my God, is it going to be efficient? Is it going to be fair? Law and order? No more two-tier justice system? Pinch yourselves right now. Pinch yourselves. Because I can't believe it either. But this is our, thank God, reality. We have suffered for 4 years for this day. In some respects, and I hate to say this because I fought so hard to try to overturn the stolen election, I'm almost sadly kind of glad that it was stolen. Because if it wasn't, President Trump in his quote-unquote second term from 2020 to 2024 more than likely wouldn't have done what he's doing now. Would he have done some of it? Yes, he probably would have. But would it have been with the, speed and determination and just massive amounts of activity and action? No, I don't believe so. But he's had 4 years. 4 years of being kicked in the ass, of being beat up, of being shot at being indicted, at being threatened with jail, about having his family abused, his wife embarrassed, having her, her lingerie looked at and gone through, and his family targeted. And he said, you know what? If I ever get the chance, if the American people ever give me that chance again, I am going to do things that are going to blow your mind. And that is exactly what is happening. And the left can't take it. They have no power. They can't stop it. There is no resistance. And more importantly, they're in shock. And why are they in shock? They shouldn't be in shock. You were told this is what he's going to do. But no one thought that he would actually do it. And guess what? Oh, he's doing it all right. And it is so sweet. So that's why they're upset. They're upset because how dare you, President Trump and Elon Musk and your, little band of science nerds as they're called, right? How dare you challenge our spending? We know what's best for our people and the taxpayers. Don't you dare question what we spend taxpayer money on. That's what's happening right now. How dare you confront us? And more importantly, how dare you beat us with 18, 19, and 20-year-old kids? That's what's happening. They're upset, not necessarily because they're losing their gravy train. They're upset because they're locked out, they don't know what's coming next, and, quite frankly, they're worried about being indicted and prosecuted. And damn, they ought to be, because Pam Bondi is a pit bull with lipstick, and she is going to kick their ass from everywhere you can imagine and then some. And they are going to indict these people. They're going to prosecute these people. How many of them? I don't know. We might be at a point now where there's almost too many people. We don't even know who to prosecute first. So what I hope they do is I hope that they have teams. Okay? You're assigned to, the Florida Mar-a-Lago case. You're assigned to New York. You're assigned to Georgia's Fannie Wills, you're assigned to this. You're assigned to that. I want to see them hire, 10,000 prosecutors that they can vet and make sure they're not bringing in deep staters or anything like that. I'm talking the best of the best, the most cutthroat people, and hire 5,000 prosecutors. I don't want to grow government, but I wouldn't mind 5,000 hardcore salivating to put these people in jail prosecutors. That's what we need to do. And I hope it happens. I am much more confident after seeing this administration and President Trump working for the second time, should have been the third time, but the second time. And the people that he has surrounded himself with are dynamite. There's not a loose person, loose position out there. And so I think that Marco Rubio is tremendous. I wasn't a huge fan of him as a senator, but my goodness, he could go down in history, honestly, as one of the greatest Secretary of States ever that this country has ever had. That's how much confidence I have in him, how smart and bright and articulate. And all of these people want change, and they're willing to do what President Trump wants done. And for that, God bless each and every one of them. All I can say at this point is let's just hope and pray that President Trump stays safe, that his cabinet stays safe, and that he keeps kicking ass and tearing down the Washington establishment. And yes, for once, for real, not just being a slogan, drain the swamp. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Put them down in the comments below. We'll see you in the next one.